Hey guys, welcome to the Double O Podcast, episode 38. I'm your host, PennyWhysTV. Topics that we have for today is the front runner, my front runner for Winter Anime 2026, who I think is going to be the best anime of this winter. And then best Re Zero seasons ranked 1 through 3, seasons 1, 2, and 3. And then we have a new segment called Theoreticals, where me and Skills each bring one or two theoretical situations in anime. It doesn't have to be anime. It could branch out to pop culture as well, but my theoreticals are going to be mainly anime based. And then since it's just me, I added two articles that I'm going to be reacting to towards the end. The most iconic trios of all time. And then there's an article called The Most Popular Characters Since 2000 Ranked. And Sunjin Woo better not be in the top 10 or I'm going to lose it. So as always, we're on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. The links will be in the description below if you want to listen to us on there. So front runner for the Winter Anime 2026. This winter, there's been some heat. I was expecting a little bit more with this lineup. Now, the thing that I am finding out about myself and the anime that I like is that I'm finding that I like shows with a good story and good characters. As for what's more important, story or characters, that's a tough one. If you have an amazing freaking story, I don't think the characters matter that much. I'm thinking of Attack on Titan. Amazing story. The characters are really good too, but like, I don't know. They're not as like. I'll get to it. But I think the characters are a little bit more important than the story. And I'll get to that when I say my number one. My number one. I'll go through it in order though. My front runner for the winter 2026. So I have not caught up to Vigilantes. So Vigilantes, I have no idea how it's doing in season 2. And then I haven't even seen Frieren before, so I have no idea how that's doing in season 2. I believe Frieren has 10 episodes. But the one that anime that people's been hyping up, a lot of people in the anime community, and a lot of people don't like when I say this, but Sentence to Be a Hero is I think is the weakest anime on the list. And I've only seen the first and second episode. I didn't see the third episode. I think the fourth episode came out too, but I've only seen the first 2 episodes. A lot of action, like I was saying earlier. Doesn't have too good of a story or characters so far, so that's why it's 7 on the list. It's just mindless action, him blowing up monsters and whatever. I'm not gonna shit on Sentence to Be a Hero too much. I've already done that in 2 videos. But Fire Force number 6, I wasn't expecting Fire Force to be a little bit of a letdown. I mean, I was, because it's getting 88 chapters and cramming that into 13 episodes. And I'm already seeing the effects of that. The structure for Fire Force, I won't go into spoilers, but they're taking their time with each character and their story. Honestly, it seems like they're trying to wrap up people's stories in 1 or 2 episodes. The first episode, which was the setup, Shinra coming out of the state that he was in. I won't go too much into detail. And then there was a couple episodes centered on one character per episode. But I'm already seeing, like I said, the effects that they're taking with them off-screening certain battles. there was this one, and this was a major battle too. This was a pillar battle that they just glossed over. They no screened it. They didn't show any of it. They just talked about it, what happened a little bit. And I don't think this is going to be the last time that they off screen a major battle. It's impossible. I don't know much about manga. I've only read about 10 in my life. And other people have these concerns as well. People that I've talked to, they have concern about, the 88 chapters in the 13 episodes. And just logically speaking and emotionally speaking, they can't show it all. They can't show everything in the manga in the anime. And I just think you're just not going to have a good product. And it's already showing in the first 3 episodes. Like I said, with the not even showing some of the battles, like, at all. So, does it have potential to pick up? I don't count on it. I don't count on it picking up. I think this is just going to be a mid 5-4 season 3. And I think the finale is going to be good. But man, this is such a bad stain. I almost want to say stain on Fire Force's legacy, because the first 2 seasons was really good. And this had top 10 potential for me. But number 6 I had was Fire Force. Number 5 I had Hell's Paradise. And the reason why I have these ranked is it's just easier to talk about each anime. What impressed me, what didn't impress me, the problems that it has or doesn't so far. But Hell's Paradise is just okay to me right now. And granted, I've only seen the first 2 episodes. There was a little fight. Honestly, I wouldn't call that a major fight. It was more like a skirmish, kind of just to see what the dude with yellow hair could do against Gabimaru. And I wouldn't even count that as a real fight. Gabimaru didn't have his memories, didn't have his Tao techniques. And him with his just blaze techniques, he's still a formidable opponent. He's still dangerous, but he's not like a real threat to these monsters if he doesn't have Tao. But yeah, we talked about Hell's Paradise, but Hell's Paradise is okay so far. I needed to ramp up in the next 2 to 3 episodes. I need to ramp up. JJK is number 4. I know people are hyping JJK up to death, and I'm not gonna lie. It was a good episode. It was a good fight, without a doubt. I think it was one of the best fights. If I were to say best episodes, I think it was when Toji confronted his son. Everything that happened before. That whole episode, I think, was the best episode, because I like narration, not narration, but I like the narrative scope of the anime, and not really the fights itself. I see what Japan is saying about Western audiences and how we only care about fights. It's true. These people only care about fights. I look for the story in an anime. I don't look for it, but I expect a good story to go along with the anime, and you need good characters to back it up. This was Maki's best episode. She shined. She's probably going to shine more, but she's nowhere near my top 5. Before this episode, I'm not even sure if Maki was in my top 10 characters. There's nothing wrong with her character at all. There's really not much going on with her. She has a little bit of spunk, a little bit of personality. She had that staff in the first season, second season, whatever. And she got her own little glow up. She got someone outside the top 10 characters for me, got a glow up. and it was cool for her. I'm happy for her, but I still don't know she's in my top 10 as a character. Now, if it was Megami and he got that glow up, I don't know what I would do, but Megami, I don't know if he's in my top 5. I'll go through my top 5 characters in JJK right now. Sukuna obviously is in there. Gojo. Chosen's up there. Chosen's above Maki for sure. Honestly, Chosen might be above Megami. I'm not gonna lie, he might be above Megami. Not only because his personality is just better. I like his personality. I like his moveset. I like his powers. I like his design too. His design is pretty cool. But yeah, I think I got Megami above Maki as well. I'm not gonna go through everyone, but this is a good episode. JJK is one of the best animated fights, especially with choreography. I don't know how to say that word, but fighting choreography, how they move, the animation is top tier. I don't think anyone's touching it in that department. As for the story, as for the characters, there's a lot of characters. They're giving people shine here and there. Yuta, everyone's getting their own episode to shine a little bit. Even what's that one dude? The dude with the blonde hair who doesn't want to work overtime. That dude, he had his moments in season 2 in the Shibuya arc. It's just boxing, man. But it's top tier boxing. I still prefer the story, journeys, characters, progression. I still prefer that over JJK. And JJK, they honestly don't even give us a proper training arc. We never see any of these characters training. But it is what it is. JJK is still good. It's still great. It's still the king of anime. But for me, it's not a top 10 in terms of stories or characters. But yeah. With that being said, I got Fate Strange Fake over JJK. Now, I didn't see the prelude episode, which was an hour long. I didn't have time to watch that. Or rather, I didn't make time to watch that. I've only seen the first episode and the second episode. But even this anime is kind of like a lot of action. But at the same time, I think the reason why I'm more intrigued about Fate Strange Fake over JJK is that I'm not too familiar with the universe. So a lot of the things that come up, especially the terms that they're using, I'm not familiar with. In this anime, they are vampires in this anime. So not only you just have so many different mini factions that are after this Holy Grail. Well, I don't know if there's an actual Holy Grail. I think the Holy Grail appears after everyone's dead. I don't know too much about the lore. I'm not the biggest fan of this series. I've only seen Unlimited Blade Works, both seasons, maybe. Long time ago. But the story is interesting as well. Like I said, the different factions, they got vampires, they got the masters, they got the servants, and all the servants have their own personalities. Some of them have their own motives as well, but for the most part, they serve their master. They know what it is. They're a servant. They're here to serve, and they know their roles for the most part. The direction, the scenes, the characters. I don't know what's going on with the blonde girl. I don't know who that is. Is that Saber reincarnated as a human? That'd be crazy. I don't know what her deal is, because they say she's not a mage and she's just wrapped up in this war, but it has an interesting enough story to where I want to know more and I want to see more. And I definitely I need to see that prelude episode. But actually, it's funny, when we came up with this topic, when I came up with this topic, I thought Fake Streams Fake was going to be number one. But after watching some more anime, I got it number 3. So for number 2 as a front runner for Winter Anime 2026, I actually, surprisingly, have Trigun Stampede. I've seen the first 2 episodes, 1 and 2, and these episodes was superb. Now, when it comes to the story, I don't know the story too much. The story is really confusing. I think for the most part, the planet they're on is dying, and they need to find some way to survive, basically. It's kind of like this war between the humans and the plants. The plants, there's like these creatures in these tubes, and they're used for life force. The humans can't survive without the plants, and the plants can't survive without the humans, so they're struggling to find this coexistence in this world. And there's a couple of subplots going on. We don't really know who to trust. There's these transmissions going to other planets, and they're communicating with these other planets, trying to get help. But the characters, the animation is so superb. Like the characters' expressions. It's 3D, by the way. So if you haven't seen this anime, it is 3D, but it's very good 3D. One of the best 3D anime. It's funny. It has humor. It has action. Not the crazy action, but I like how goofy it is. There's new characters that they're throwing in this season. There's maturity. There's growth. This second season takes place a little bit after the first season. I won't say exactly how much time has passed, but some time has passed, and some characters has progressed, some characters have regressed. But the characters in this anime that I've grown to like, they have stories too. Some of these side characters, they have deep stories going on, where they come from, different motivations, and that second season sold me. I thought Trigun might have been my front runner. I knew it was like top 3 somewhere, because these 2 episodes was just so superb, and I can't wait to watch the next episode. But this really surprised me. I wouldn't be surprised if it finished top 2 by the end of this season as a winter anime, but it definitely has potential. I need to see how many episodes this has, because if it has 12 episodes, I think it has 10 though. But I'm gonna check. I'm gonna let y'all know in the editing how many episodes Trigun Stampede. I think I said Stampede. That was a mistake. This is called Trigun Stargaze. But yeah, Trigun has been superb so far. Highly recommend. If you have not seen Trigun the original, I would recommend Trigun Stampede. That's the first season. I don't know why these seasons have different names. And then the second season is Trigun Stargaze, which is a remake. These seasons are remakes of the original. I never saw the original. So Trigun Stargaze is number 2. And then number 1, we have Oshinoko. Oshinoko, for me, is taken away. It is probably one of the most complete animes. And it's definitely one of the most realistic animes on this list. To take a lot of real world examples when it comes to the business world, cosplaying, being an actor, being an idol. They took a lot of real world examples. And I don't know who wrote this story. I don't know if they have experience in showbiz. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe they did a lot of research. But this anime has everything. It has humor. The art and animation ain't too shabby either. It doesn't even rely on that either. It mainly relies on the characters and the fluidity of the characters. These characters are so fluid. There's some characters in other animes that are like one-dimensional. They only act one way. But in Oshinoko, the character depth is so deep. Like these, like feelings are fleeing. They might feel one way and they might feel a different way later on in the episode. Their motivations change. Everyone is influencing the other, and there's just so many different dynamics going on between romantic relationships, between brother and sister, between director and assistant director, between directors and other people on the team. There's just so many different dynamics going on, and this anime so far, top 20 best written, top 20, top 25, it's up there in the writing. And I got that Oshinoko as my number one front runner for Winter Anime 2026. I watched episodes 2 and 3 this morning, and it was already kind of up there. I already knew the expectations for Oshinoko, and it continues to meet my expectations, if not exceeded a little bit. But yeah, Oshinoko, I knew it was going to be one of them ones. I already knew before I started watching the winter anime, but it's so far it's exceeding my expectations out of everything on this list. So that's it for that topic, front runner for Winter Anime 2026. The next topic we have is the best ReZero seasons. I talked a little bit about this with some people online, and a lot of people have season 2 as the best season. They got the lore drops. I think season 2 definitely you get the most lore drops about you meet the other witches. You got some more hints about who or what Amelia is, because clearly she has some connection to the Stella Witch. Is she the Stella reincarnated? I don't know. But I'll just tell y'all right off the bat my order. I think season 1 was the best. A lot of people forget, like, season 1 was an explosion in terms of season 1. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that was bigger than Demon Slayer season 1. I kind of want to check. I'll check right now. Okay, so I was kind of close. So not as big as Demon Slayer. I still think ReZero was bigger than Demon Slayer at the time that it came out. I think obviously Demon Slayer is bigger now, but I think a lot of people went and started season 1 maybe a little bit after Demon Slayer came out. But I still believe ReZero was the more popping anime at the time of release. But with that being said, ReZero's the first season. Its popularity on my anime list is 23. Number 23 has like 2.4 million members. And then Demon Slayer, shockingly, or not shockingly, because it's definitely the most mainstream anime right now. It's number 5 in popularity with 3.3 million members. Almost a million more than ReZero. So I'm actually not surprised at all. But as far as ReZero, season 1 was off to a great start. It was gruesome right off the start. Subaru, I think he died in the first episode. The first shot of episode 1, I'm pretty sure, was Subaru and Amelia bleeding out in the bar. Pretty sure that was the first scene in this entire show. And it all started pretty quickly. Subaru went to this world within the first 2 minutes of this anime happening. It happened like instantly. And Subaru was found into this world trying to figure out what the heck is going on. It took him like 2 or 3 times from dying to figure it out that he's going back in the past. So the setup, not only the setup is cool, but like I said, the gruesomeness. I think Subaru died the most in season 1. He died so many times. I think he died at least 6 or 7 times in season 1. Compared to season 2, I don't think he was dying that much. I think he died like 3 or 4 times. And then season 3, I don't think he died too much either. I think he died about 3 times in that season. But there was a lot of good moments in season 1. The moment with Rem, will Rem confess her love? That was a huge moment. I can tell you guys the huge moments in this anime when it came out. The Rem confession, that was huge. Comment sections was going crazy. Not because of the confession itself, but because of Subaru rejecting that confession. Kind of crazy. He rejected her, and he didn't want to run away with Rem, and he chose Amelia instead, who still I'm not even sure if she likes Subaru. Even now, I'm still not sure if she likes Subaru like that. I don't even think she knows what liking someone romantically feels like. I don't even know if she has the ability to feel that. I don't know. She hasn't shown any of that so far. She's a terrible potential girlfriend for Subaru. He should have chose Rem. But yeah, season 1, that Rem moment, confession, and then I think this was after the confession, the thing that happened to Rem, Beetlejuice, what Beetlejuice did to Rem, that was the most gruesome thing in this entire show. The second most gruesome thing was probably the rabbits in season 2. But season 1, seeing what happened to Rem, that was a crazy moment. So that was one of the craziest moments of the show, I feel like. And in that season 1. It was also the time that Subaru got possessed. I remember that being a big moment in season 1. And then the best episode, I think one of the best episodes was that Puck episode, where he went back to the village, everyone was clapped up, it was snowing, and Puck was huge, and Subaru didn't know what the heck was going on. He touched that doorknob, he looked up, his fingers was gone, because they froze instantly, and he didn't even realize it. I think that was one of the best episodes of ReZero. Like, let me know what the best episode of ReZero was, because I think that was it. The credits was rolling, and his fucking head came off, bro. That was not even gruesome. It's just like, damn, you didn't even get a chance to explain yourself. And then Reinhard had to come in and do what he had to do. But I don't know if I said this yet, but season 1 is my favorite episode of ReZero. I think that's the best season. Now, before I started putting this together, I thought I had season 3 as the worst season of ReZero. Not that it's bad by any means, but after looking at it a bit more, I think I have season 3 as the second best. Yeah. So from best to worst, I have season 1, season 3, and season 2. I thought season 2 was the worst season. Not that it's bad by any means. I'll talk about season 2, and then I'll talk about why season 3 was the second best. So season 2, it felt really confined in that season. I think we spent about 90% of the season in the sanctuary. We weren't cool with Garfield yet, so he was being an asshole and making things hard for Subaru. That was annoying. Elsa, she was causing problems back at the mansion, so they spent a little bit of time at the mansion in this season. Spent about 10% of the time at the mansion trying to save everyone. And Subaru was trying to do 2 things at once. He was trying to get back to the mansion fast enough and save everyone, and he didn't really have too much help either. Roswell was out of commission. Roswell was very inactive in season 2 and season 3. We haven't seen him do much of anything in the last 2 seasons, but we got some lore drops about him he knows a little bit about what's going on with Subaru. He somehow knows that Subaru is looping, so he's aware of that, and he has some connection to the gospel as well. You know, he has a gospel book. I'm pretty sure he had a gospel book, and he's been following that basically. But as far as season 2, I don't think there was a lot going on. We got to meet the witches, which I don't care about. The most interesting witch was obviously the one that was in the black dress. I think she's sinister. She's not good. She cannot be trusted for sure. She definitely can't be trusted. But yeah, the splitting of seasons is what cuts off a little bit of the continuity in the anime, because you're not watching the season all in one go. So that messes up ReZero a little bit when they split off the seasons and don't give us the whole season in one go. I don't know how season 4 is going to be, if they're going to split it up in 2 cores again, or how many episodes season 4 is going to be, but they do a lot on this anime. They spent a lot of time on this anime. I think one of the episodes in season 3 took like a month to make, just one episode. But yeah, I can't really say there was a whole lot going on in season 2. That's when Beatrice and Subaru got close. I think the most interesting thing from season 2 was the Beatrice pass and her waiting on someone to show up, and then Subaru being that person for her. Which, was he really the person for her, or is he just filling in that role? I don't know. But season 3 was definitely a step up, I feel like, in terms of just, there was a lot of fighting for sure, and there was a lot of different battles going on. I think there was about 4 sins in that season. That was the most sins that we seen in one place. We had a little bit of a sneak peek of Regulus and the sin of, was it Gluttony? Back in season 2 when they fought Crush for the first time. And isn't that where she lost her memory? I can't remember. I think she lost her memory in season 2. But then we see them again in season 3. And then there was the Sin of Wrath. And I forget who, I think it was Sin of Envy. The girl with the bandages. She might have been my favorite one. She was very, very scary. Like the first 3 episodes, Subaru, I think he died a couple times because of the sin of envy. I think she got 2 deaths off him. And I think the highlight of season 3 was when they finally were able to beat Regulus. The first part was really good too. Subaru trying to put his head together and save the hostage that was at the top of that bell tower. And then he had to get Reinhardt's help as well. Reinhardt was clutch. But at the same time, these sins are very hard to kill, even for Reinhardt. It's hard for Reinhardt to kill these sins. And that part, and then there was the other part with the Sin of Wrath, who was the dragon, and she could turn other people into dragons as well. Crush has been getting fucked up. First she loses her memory in season 2, and then she's turning into a dragon in season 3. So I don't know if she's ever going to recover. I don't think she's going to recover into the anime. Not all the way anyways. She's going to have something left with her, kind of like what happened with Subaru. He has the dragon arm right now. As for Subaru, I don't think he made the best decisions. But I think what's influencing him is that he doesn't want to die. And he's thinking about his life. He doesn't want to kill himself intentionally just to go back into the past. And I think the Garfield thing was cool. I think that was the best fight of that season. The best choreography. I think that was the best fight. The Garfield one. But yeah, season 3 was my second favorite. season of ReZero, and then season 1 was my favorite season of ReZero. So again, from best to worst ReZero seasons, I got 1, 3, and 2. As far as season 4, where is that gonna land? I think it's gonna land either better than 3 or better than 2. I think it's definitely gonna be better than season 2. I don't think it's gonna be better than season 1. This is season 3 and season 4. I feel like are gonna fight for that number 2 spot for best season of ReZero. So yeah, that's it for the ReZero segment. We have next our new segment, Theoreticals. So my first theoretical is, if Naruto and Sasuke both died in the Valley of Death, who becomes the 7th Hokage? And they should have died. The prophecy, I'm pretty sure the prophecy said that they both were gonna get killed, but somehow they both lived. I think it would have been kind of, would it have been dope if Naruto actually died and never became Hokage? That would be tragic, but also I think that would be really cool if that happened. And then Boruto never happened. I think that would be really cool. But as for who would become the 7th Hokage, why did I say 7th? The 6th Hokage is gonna be Kakashi for sure. It was his time to become a Hokage. He was like 30 years old. He led in a major war, one of the biggest wars. And Tsunade is like old. She's like over 50. She just came out of a coma. And she got critically injured in this battle too. So it makes sense that Kakashi takes up the mantle and becomes the 6th Hokage. For the 7th Hokage, I feel like it has to be a ninja that is in Naruto's class. So remember, Sasuke dies too. Naruto and Sasuke dies in this scenario. And there's only like 1, 2, 3 candidates that I can think of. Sakura, I don't think she would make a good Hokage because she's just too selfish. Like she's way too selfish. Like now that I think about it, and Shippuden, and she didn't really get a lot of shine either. And this is the writer's fault. Like after the Sasori, she didn't really do a whole lot until the very end when she reunited with Sasuke and Naruto. So tell me what she did between Sasori and the end of the war. You know, what did she do before that? In between that. But besides that, I think she's just selfish. With the Sasuke thing, I think at one point she wanted to join Sasuke's side, and then she wanted to kill Sasuke and made a whole play to stab him in the back, but then she couldn't follow through. So I think her resolve is just too weak for me, and she has too much bias. Like if Sasuke was still evil, I think she'd still have trouble coming up with whose side to take. I think she'd still have trouble choosing. But yeah, she's just too, like, she's not grounded enough for me to be Hokage. Surprisingly enough, Kiba was another pick. I don't think he would actually become Hokage. He could. He talks about becoming Hokage. He wants to be Hokage. But I didn't see anything from the war from him. I didn't see him do a single thing. Obviously he did something, but nothing praiseworthy. Like who did he fight in the Great Ninja War? And what did he do in Shippuden? Did he have any major battles in Shippuden? Yeah. Kiba can't be Hokage for that reason. Because I don't know what he did. I actually don't know what he did in season 1 or season 2. Besides taking on that Sound Ninja. and almost beating him. That was a pretty impressive feat. But I think the only right choice here, if Naruto and Sasuke both die, I think the only correct choice here has to be Shikamaru. Shikamaru, I can't do Choji either, because Choji is a softie. Maybe he grows out of that, but I don't think he'd be able to do the hard things when the time comes. Like, if he had to make a hard choice, I don't think Choji would be able to do that. But my choice for Hokage, if Naruto and Sasuke both died in the final valley, would be Shikamaru. There are a couple of reasons, a few obvious reasons. For one, he's already a Chunin by this time, and it's kind of crazy. I feel like Shikamaru should have been a Jonin by now. Like, if Neji was a Jonin, I feel like Shikamaru should have been a Jonin as well, just from his intellect and his leading abilities. Also, he's led platoons before. He led platoons even in Naruto. As a 13-year-old, he was leading platoons to do missions. And then in the war, he has some responsibilities as well. Even before that, he had a major mission to take down 2 of the Akatsuki. He took the lead on that and came up with a plan to take out 2 Akatsuki. As far as fighting power, I don't think he's that strong on his own. He's really not that strong on his own. But I am willing to say that the Ina Chika Sho combo might be Kage level. Like at that time in Shippuden, like, they were able to take out Kakuzu, and they were able to take out one of the Kenjakus. I forget his name, but I believe they're like barely Kage level. With Ina, Chika, and Sho, their combined strength might be Kage level. And then there's the final thing why I think Shikamaru would have became the Hokage, is that he got acknowledgement from Madara. He was one of the few people, well, Toby, Madara, he said in the war during that first skirmish, he was like, oh, this must be the work of Shikamaru. Like, it's too bad that you're on this side. I could have used you. And that's high praise on Shikamaru, because he's able to figure things out on the fly, come up with plans, and come up with strategies and tactics. And he's able to do that. I feel like he's able to do that on a Kage level. So that's my pick, Shikamaru. I think he would have became the 7th Hokage. As for my second theoretical, imagine the One Piece was literally just one piece of copper, essentially worthless. So if the One Piece was just one copper piece, would you feel betrayed by this reveal? And would you feel like this journey was a waste of time? And would this bring down the ranking for One Piece? So basically what this question is asking, what if the One Piece wasn't real, and how would you feel? So if the One Piece was really just one copper, that would actually make sense. Why it's called Laugh Tale? Because they did all this. It took them 1 year, 2 years to reach the One Piece, Goldie Rogers' crew. And it would make sense why they all started laughing. Because it's like, we did all this life and death situations for this? That would make sense. Would I feel betrayed after watching 1,000+ episodes to find out that the One Piece isn't real? I would feel betrayed, but I feel like I might get over it if they provide a good reason to why they did that to us. I don't think it would be the better choice. I think the better choice would be an actual treasure that can just change your life, change the world, enough money to do whatever you want, that would make for a much better story than if the One Piece was not real. I would feel betrayed, but I think I would get over it. And would this bring down the ranking of One Piece? Honestly, yes, I think it would. I think it would bring down Roger's prestige as a pirate king also. Because how can you be a pirate king with no treasure and you're not rich? You can't be a poor pirate king. Sure, you can be the strongest guy on the seas and you have, you know, all these alliances or whatever, but if you don't have the treasure to back it up, if you don't have the capital to be able to do what you want with it, I think that would bring down Roger's legacy. And I think One Piece loses 2 to 3 spots, maybe 4, if we find out the One Piece isn't real. I think it will still go down in my, like, if it was top 10 now, it would probably be in the top 15. If it's not in my top 15, it'll probably stay in my top 15, top 16. If we find out the One Piece wasn't real. Yeah, that'd be devastating. So those are my 2 theoreticals. And then the 2 articles that I'm going to react to. First, we have the most iconic trios of all time. I have no idea who is going to be on this list. It's going to surprise me for sure. I can't even think of an all-time trio, to be honest. Like, the only one I could think of is Ina Chikacho. I think they're honestly a better duo. I think they're the best duo in Naruto. They're better than Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. Ina Chikacho has more synergy. I don't know who. I can't name another trio. I cannot name another trio. So we're just going to look at this list. I'll let you guys know what I think about it, if it's valid. But I'm going to check it out. Okay, so we have the 5 most iconic anime trios of all time. I'm interested in who they put on this list. I'm sure there's going to be one trio who I'm not going to know. Number 5, Ash, Brock, and Misty. I actually forgot about them. I haven't seen Pokemon in probably 18 years. But this makes sense. I fuck with this pick, Ash, Brock, and Misty. They're the original trio, I believe, in Pokemon. Wasn't this the first generation trio? That's a good pick. This is a great pick for number 5. I wonder who is number 4. Eren, Mikasa, and Armin above Misty, Ash, and Brock. Yeah, I don't know about this, bro. I don't know about this. I don't know why they put them on here. Let me read. I don't see them as much as a trio. I see them as more as Eren and Mikasa. They're duos at different times. Like, very rarely do I see all 3 of them work together. Like, I know Eren and Mikasa has a connection, and they have some scenes together where they work together for a common goal. And then there was a time in, I think, season 3 where Armin and Eren had a plan together. Mikasa was not involved. So I see them work more in pairs of 2s than I do in 3s. So I don't really understand this pick. I think this guy's just an Attack on Titan fan who wrote this. Deadass who wrote this. Tusha Savastava. Okay. Alright. So I don't agree with Eren, Mikasa, and Armin. I think there's got to be better trios than that. There's got to be better trios. Number 3, Wow, bro. I just said this, bro. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. Maybe before Sasuke started acting like a fuck boy and started getting jealous of Naruto and started wanting to fight him, and maybe before. But I got Inochika Cho over Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, man. I can see why they chose this for. The recognizability, they're the most recognizable trio in Naruto. But as far as writing and synergy and chemistry, I think Inochika Cho clears. I think they clear them. They were not a group at all in Shippuden until the final few minutes of the war. They weren't a trio at all. And they were a trio for just like the first half of Naruto Part 1. So I can't agree with this, but I understand why they put it on there. So number 2, Gintoki, Shinpachi, and Kagura. Now this is a good one. This makes up for everything that you put on the list before this. Not that they're horrible picks, but this is a good one that I was not thinking of. Okay, you spelled Gintoki wrong. There's no N in Gintoki, but this is a funny group. They all have their strengths and weaknesses. No one actually, I think Gintama's the strongest out of the group, but everyone has their tendencies, their different personalities, and they all have the synergy as well. It's been a while since I've seen Gintama, but as far as a group, there's no better group than this, except for whatever number 1 is, if I agree with it. But I fuck with this number 2 pick. I was not expecting this. Very good pick. So number 1, we have Don't Disappoint Me. Don't Disappoint Me. Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. A trio. That's valid. I think that's valid. Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy, they're the strongest. We know they're the strongest on the crew. This is indisputable. There's no argument against that. These are the 3 strongest on the crew. Well, is Sanji stronger than Jinbe? I don't know about that. And Sanji is the 4th highest bounty right now in the anime. But they've been together a long time. They've been together for at least like 900 episodes. There's a short period of time when Sanji had to go away, but I wasn't expecting this as a trio. But I think they're called, it says in this article, they're often called the Monster Trio. And I forget who is who, but I think Sanji is the left arm of the king being Luffy, and Luffy is the right arm of this trio. But yeah, I fuck with this list. 1, 2, 3. I know why they put the Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura. The only one I hard disagree with is the Eren, Mikasa, and Armin. Yeah, they were childhood friends, but they started separating a little bit when they entered the army. But they were really close childhood friends. That's all I can really give them. Not a bad list. Not a bad list at all. Tuishi, Survivala, Stabila. Sorry. But yeah, on to the next article. The 10 most iconic anime characters since 2000. Sun Jin-woo better not be on this list, bro, or it's invalid. Alright, so the most iconic anime characters since 2000. Iconic? Let me Google what iconic means first. Describing someone who's widely recognizable, representative of a specific time, considered a classic, influential, legendary, Okay. Okay. We'll agree to disagree on this list. So, number 10. Let me see who this author is. Anime writer for the website. We'll see, bro. We'll see about your list, bro. Is this number 10? Or is this just... Oh, I thought it was ranked. Is this the start? Okay. I don't understand what this ranking system is, but Tanjiro, the most iconic, I mean, that's facts. Since 2000, he's the poster boy of modern shonen. He's the most... Demon Slayer is the most mainstream anime on the planet right now. Not the best anime, but it's the most mainstream anime on the planet. JJK still clears as anime, but, and I'm not saying Demon Slayer is far behind at all, but Tanjiro, he's definitely a better main character than Itadori. He's definitely better. So there's Tanjiro, Saitama. So I guess this is another character that is in his top 10. Okay, that makes sense. Saitama is definitely iconic. Season 1 was a boom. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was top 10 in popularity on my anime list. But he sparks a lot of debates. One Punch Man versus Goku, Saitama versus Superman, Saitama versus him, Saitama versus her. He sparks a lot of debates, and he will continue to be in debates for a long time now. So I fuck with the Saitama, I fuck with Tanjiro. Those are very good picks, and I agree. Those are two iconic characters. Since the 2000s? Okay. That's valid. So next we have Gojo. I don't know. Iconic. In terms of JJK, he is definitely one of the most popular characters in the show. I think you can only really go with Gojo or Sukuna as the most popular characters in the show. A lot of people say he has a lot of aura. He got aura. He got some aura. But iconic, I mean, yeah. I'd probably throw him in there as well. It's a top 10 most iconic. He's definitely the most recognizable from the Sukuna. And the eyes just add to it as well. Gojo would not have half as many fans if his eyes was not so damn beautiful. But I agree with this as well. The first three pass. Gojo, I agree. Top 10 most iconic since 2000. I fuck with it. Next we have Edward Elric. Gold standard for shonen protagonist, most iconic. Top 10, what is this called again? Top 10 most iconic anime characters. I think Light would be on this list as well, right? Light would probably go over L. Yeah. Edward Elric. A lot of people have Full Metal Alchemist in the top 10 of anime. And I agree. I don't agree with Full Metal Alchemist being top 10, me personally. But Edward Elric, he's definitely recognizable, and I definitely see him as one of the most iconic characters. So I agree with this one. Number 5, we have Eren Yeager. I don't think Eren is that iconic. I know why he's on the list. He's definitely the most popular character in the show. Like, the only other debatable character that's the most popular in the show is probably Levi. It's the only one I could think of. But I think he's more carried. I think Aaron's more carried by his show. The show is very good. The story is really good. But I think he gets a little bit carried by his show. Iconic. I think I could find someone who's more iconic than Aaron. Maybe not in his show. He has the show. I'll give him that. But I think there's more iconic characters than Aaron. This one's kind of like a top 5 most popular anime. That's why he made it. So number 6, Lelouch Lamperouge. Iconic. Yeah, he's by far the best character in the show. That's not even close. And he made the show. The show didn't make him. The show would not be good if Lelouch wasn't the main MC. It would still be good, but it wouldn't be top 10 without Lelouch and his personal past and his talents, his theatrics, everything that makes him him makes Zero as well and makes the show. So I agree with this one heavy. Lelouch as a top 10 most iconic character. So next should be number 7. Oh, okay. So I was right. Light Yagami, villain protagonist. Man, one of the best animes of all time. One of the best star animes of all time too. And Light Yagami is a mix. He has a split fandom. Not fandom, but a lot of people don't mess with Light. And a lot of people do rock with Light. I rock with Light. I fuck with Light. I want to Light to win. But some people don't like that he kills innocent people. But I still fuck with Light. So I agree with this one. This is number 7. The next one, Killua. Iconic over Gon? I don't know about that one, man. I know why he put it there. Yeah, Killua is a cool character. It's definitely cool. Very popular. Won't deny his popularity. But is he more popular than Gon? I don't think he's over Gon, bro. This was I don't know, but I can see it. I think there's 2 more left. Luffy. Iconic since 2000. Yeah, that's obvious. He has to be there. He's the most iconic since 2000. Yeah, I agree with this. There's really not much to say. He's definitely iconic. I think there's 1 more left. Naruto. Yeah, he's definitely most iconic. From 2000s, everyone knows who Naruto is. Like 60% of people on Earth know who Naruto is. Even if they don't watch anime. Was this the last one? That was a lot. What was the comment saying? All hail Lelouch, Dragon Ball, yeah, Goku. I think Dragon Ball Z started in the 90s too. So I think in the 2000s, all Dragon Ball had was GT and Super, I think. Yeah, like where the fuck is Ichigo? People are saying where's Goku, but I think that anime started in the 80s and finished in the 90s. Most iconic characters since 2000, top 10. Let me see. Naruto, Luffy, valid. Man, you got Killua and Gojo. But you don't have Ichigo, bro. That's disrespectful as fuck, bro. Y'all see this? That's disrespectful as fuck, bro. Like, just because you don't have Ichigo on this list, I'm gonna say this entire list is invalid, bro. I'm glad that dude commented that, because I kind of was thinking about Ichigo, but you got two of the big three MCs, and you left out Ichigo. I can't fuck with this article, bro. I would replace Killua with Ichigo. Yeah. I would definitely 100% replace Killua with Ichigo. That's the only change that I would make. But I think I agree with everything else. But yeah, I'm really glad Sanjay Wu wasn't on the list, bro. You had me for a loop. I'm really glad though. But that's it for the podcast. That was episode 38. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next episode.